My name is Hatty Walton. I'm 13. In my family, there are Ra and Lucy, the twins. And then there's Ruby, my older sister. And then there's Lisa, who is my mother, and then Steve, who is my father. I'm also an actor.
I am playing the part of Stella in Mystic.
I can't hear in either of my ears unless I've got my cochlears on. For all I know, everyone's voices are completely different to how I hear them. I mean, it doesn't really affect my brain or anything. It's just I can't hear. I identify as non-binary, and I personally go by like they, them. I think it's decently tight. I don't know, because I don't have enough of a family to compare it to. I would say they support me. I live in Dunedin, but I travel up to Auckland to film Mystic. The filming days are very long.
Morning, Hattie.
Morning.
Morning, Hattie. Morning.
Depending on like the shooting day, obviously, I have to get out of bed at like 5 in the morning to get there on time. It's because it would like start at 7 and it's like we're like 2 hours away from wherever we are. And then sometimes, I think the latest was 10 that I got back.
I'm Ray, and my job on Mystics is to chaperone Eddie. They come in, they get processed, which means they steps in wardrobe, they then steps into makeup.
It's not bad getting up in the morning. It's just kind of like, oh, yay. And then you realise that you might have accidentally slept in and you're just like, I've only got 2 scenes. All of them are outside. Occasionally I have to remind someone that like I'm deaf and that they need to like either stop mumbling, even though I'm really bad with mumbling as well, or talking really fast. And this is what the finished show looks like. And Mystic's a ghost.
Yes. No. More like a spirit.
Most of the time, I live in Dunedin with my family.
Come on, Hattie, you need to get up. You're gonna be late for school.
Me and my mother, we like talk a lot about random things. Like when I'm like getting ready for like sleep, like she'll come in to like say goodnight and then we would just like end up getting distracted and like talk for like another hour and we'd be like, oh, I'm supposed to go to sleep. Whoops.
We have fights like every other family does, but we say the funniest things, we have the funniest conversations. We're just really close.
I'm Lucy. I'm Ra. We're twins. Yeah, we're both 8, but we're 9 in a month. Hattie is deaf, and they are also non-binary.
People who like identify as non-binary, they like choose whatever pronouns they see. Well, they don't choose. Like they have pronouns that they see fit for themselves, and they would like want to like use those pronouns and like ask other people to use those pronouns for them. And I personally go by like they, them, and I've got like a pin over there. It's over there, not over there. And then I got my non-binary flag up there, obviously.
Steve, why have you got your iPad at the table? Yeah.
I didn't even know what non-binary was. I Googled it and got a whole lot of maths stuff. I think as parents, well, it is Hattie's choice. We're not going to demand something different.
Has happened.
Hattie has discovered themselves. They're creating themselves as a person, and that's part of being a teenager. You find who you are, and that's what Hattie's doing.
No cats in the kitchen.
Yeah, no cats in the kitchen. I'm happy that my mum does that because I would have as much things as I do today. I probably would miss out on a lot more things. So I'm like happy that she pushes me to do certain things.
Since we've been in Dunedin, every single teacher that Hattie has had in Dunedin has almost been a once-in-a-lifetime teacher. It's like incredibly grateful that they have had these amazing teachers.
Morning, Hattie.
You have speaking privileges now. My teacher's good. I like the way he like sets out the classroom and stuff and how he like does things. It's good. And he's quite funny too.
Is it working? Tick, 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 tick.
It's an FM and it just sort of transmits to the teacher's voice directly to their ears.
Kia ora, Hattie.
Kia ora, Stella. If the teacher doesn't wear the microphone, but they're talking, but the class isn't talking, then I can hear them like quite well, but not like super well. Like it's more muffled. And then if like the class is talking well, I can't hear them at all. People at school are quite good with it. Like obviously there's times when I have to like remind people and stuff.
What game are we going to be playing? Non-stop dodgeball, so we need to take the dodgeballs down. Okay, whakararangi. Do you want me to leave this on or turn it off?
Off.
Because I can talk to you going down the stairs.
Off.
You sure?
Off.
Are you sure?
Off.
Off or on? Off, on.
Right now, they're definitely doing very, very well.
No! When I meet someone, they occasionally figure out, or like, because I mentioned, like I make a joke about it. Like the other day, someone was like during class or something, someone was just like, why is no one listening? And I'm like, yeah, well, some of us struggle with that. And they're like, oh, wait, yeah, you're deaf, aren't you? I'm like,
Stella, you had me worried there for a moment.
I know.
I was impressed. Nice riding.
I play Stella. She's deaf and she like rides her horse, Coco.
One of the perks of being deaf.
When we first moved to Dunedin, Ruby started drama, and then I thought it looked fun, so I decided to do some drama for like a year and one term.
My acting coach is a great woman called Cindy.
You are a jellyfish. You have the least tension of anyone possible.
Cindy rang up Lisa and pretty much said to Lisa, look, is Hattie about 15 and can she ride a horse? And Lisa said, no, never been on a horse since she's 11. And so Cindy said, close enough. We'll get her to audition for this this part that's coming up.
What is that over there? And can I eat it?
And so me thinking that I was going to get it, I was just like, oh yeah, that could be fun. And so we auditioned for it, and then we got the call back, and I was like, huh? What?
Next, a guard dog. Who are you looking at? Squirrel!
It was one of those funny things where I didn't think she had a passion for theatre, like some kids do. They, you know, I'm going to be a famous star. She was like, oh yeah, I can do it. And she did.
Right. How many T-shirts do you reckon you need?
Having your deaf child shift up to Auckland for several months is not the most common thing to happen. It's a wee bit daunting. The education piece was actually a big part of it, a bit of a winner for us because it did enable Hattie to have one-on-one teaching.
If I got a chunk of the afternoon free, then I would like have this tutor person. We like look at the schoolwork and then we like go off from there. We can focus on like the things that I need to work on rather than the things that like everyone needs to work on.
But it might be handy to have more charges just for on set for in your green room too.
I think it would be hard to be deaf and be on a TV show.
All that oversized luggage that I have to pay for when I come back, I'm going to start charging you for that soon.
When Hattie first went up for the production start, Lisa went up there just ensuring that the people that were going to be working with Hattie understood communication tips, just some of the basics, basic rules, but also when to communicate, how to communicate with the whole crew.
Everything kind of goes very fast. So I'm just like, oh, I'm back to Dunedin. How did this happen? And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, back in Auckland. How did this happen?
It's not usually happens, is it? After wardrobe and makeup, all of the actors move on to the Mystic set.
There you go. Finished. Thank you.
You get the lines sent in the night before, although sometimes they change depending on like weather and stuff. If we're like doing an outside scene, but then all of a sudden it's like bucketing down, then we probably won't do that outside scene.
Okay, so let's have Hattie down here. I'll give Stella more rubbish so Stella has something to do, because otherwise you've got nothing to do. And then I reckon you make your way down here, back toward the gang, basically so you're there in time to give the bag to, what's his job? Gabe? All right?
Steve.
12, take 1. Hey, Mark.
I think it is hard to find actors who have disabilities because maybe these people are less inclined to have an agent or to go into casting sessions or to pursue that. But the reality is that there are roles for people with disabilities now, and in fact, this is what most of us producers are looking for our shows, is to show diversity.
Hattie's so shy about the whole thing and won't tell anyone, but Ruby tells everyone and, you know, is just so proud. It's just quite gorgeous, actually, you know.
To 2 of my friends always ask me when the new episodes are coming out because they haven't came out yet.
I've said to Hattie, this was an opportunity because I think, about other deaf kids watching Mystic and their character. By actually doing this, you can actually improve things for other kids and normalise, because actually deafness, and if you can help, you should help.
We're very lucky with Hattie in that Hattie is actually quite a good role model for other deaf children because they just get on and do stuff. They don't let the deafness limit what they do or what they attempt to do. Even Hattie in front of other parents can actually make some parents with younger kids sort of go, phew.
It's probably a few people who just treat me a little bit different than other people do just because I'm deaf. But I don't pick up on things as much. I'm quite oblivious to a lot of things.
I never wanted Hattie to feel sorry for herself. And it's not because I didn't have any empathy for it being harder. I want Hattie to have a good life, and self-pity doesn't lead to a good life. We all have our stuff, and deafness is Hattie's thing, and it's about, learning to live with that and have the best life possible.
Hattie's impact on the rest of the family, it does make you think in terms of communication. A lot of the ways we need to communicate and be vigilant to Hattie because of her deafness. It's helped our communication.
I've got a lot more from Hattie than Hattie's ever got from me.
When I think of Hattie, I don't think deaf. Hattie's always trying to pick up the important things, and sometimes you don't get that. It's really hard and it tires them out so much, but we don't see it as something that defines them.
For all I know, everyone's voices are completely different to how I hear them. How I describe someone's voices isn't how someone else would describe their voices because of how I've been taught to describe it. Your disability isn't you, which stands for every other disabilities. It doesn't define your existence.